Hello loves, thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. I am back again with another video, and today we are going to be talking about books. This video is going to be a light-hearted book recommendations. I know that we are into a new year and things have not really been that different from 2020. There's still a lot of things going on in the world, so I felt like recommending some light-hearted books. These books tend to be on the easier side of reading. You'll have a lot of fun reading them, or at least I hope that you do. I had a lot of fun reading these books, so let's get into it because I have a couple of different recommendations. Just really quickly, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. That definitely does help me out, and by commenting down below, let me know what type of videos you guys would like to watch. And again, if you guys hear any weird noises, I have a dog and he does crazy stuff, so please bear with me. The first book that I'm going to be recommending to you guys is a book that I read last year, and that's going to be You Had Me At Ola by Alexis Daria. And this is a super fun and spicy book. It is a better book for people 18 and over to read because it does include some naughty stuff. Actually, a lot of these books do, so I'll let you know if you should be 18 and over to read this. In this book, we have two TV stars that are trying to make it out in, I don't want to say Hollywood because they actually film the show they're making in New York, but they want to make it in a TV and movie industry. We have Ashton, who is from Puerto Rican descent, and he is trying to just break through to his new role. He wants to leave behind the stereotypical Latin actor that he's become. Then we have Jasmine, who's Dominican, and she has kind of gone through a really bad breakup with a really known person as well. I don't remember if he's like a TV, actually I think he's a musician, and they had like a really bad breakup and it was all over the tabloids, and she's trying to get away from being that girl who is always in a toxic or bad relationship. When her and Ashton start working together, they instantly have chemistry, and they both know that that's really good for their film, but they don't want to get too involved with each other outside of work because then they don't want to fall into those like footprints of them being unprofessional, I guess. They want to make sure that the project they're working on is going to be a success and it's going to take them to the next level. So they want to make sure that they're not going to get involved with one another, and that's pretty difficult for them to do, and you'll see that in this book. I did really love the whole inclusion of Latins in this one. Jasmine is Dominican, but she plays a Mexican American character in the show that she's making, and Ashton is Puerto Rican. And I don't know, I really loved it. I thought it was really fun. I really liked Jasmine and her cousins. I thought that was really cute. I felt a connection to that because I'm really close to my cousins too. I really do think that this is a fun and exciting and, like I said, naughty book. So my first recommendation, it should be no surprise that this author should be in this video, and that's going to be Christina Lauren. I have two books here for Christina Lauren. Let's start with Josh and Hazel. So we have Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I've recommended this book before. It's a really fun and easy book. It's definitely not my favorite Christina Lauren book, but I still enjoyed it, and it was a really quick read for me too. In this book, we have Josh and Hazel, who are really good friends. They've been friends for a couple of years, and they don't really have a lot of luck when it comes to their dating life. They just have had different experiences that are not good for them, and they decide to start setting each other up on dates, and it's really funny. I really loved Josh and Hazel. I loved also the fact that I believe Josh is Vietnamese or Korean, I don't remember, but he's somewhere from the Asian culture. And then we have Hazel. She's really not what a lot of Christina Lauren's characters are. I mean, I read Christina Lauren's like Wild series and then their Beautiful series, and a lot of the girls in those characters are like really tall and beautiful and like driven, oriented, and they're just great in every single way. And then we have Hazel, who is all those things, but she's also really fun and spunky, and she's just a completely different character, and it's really fun to see them set each other up on these dates. This is a really funny book. I highly recommend this one. And then we have The Unhoneymooners that I read last year. I think it came out last year or the year before. But this one is definitely one of my favorites. I really enjoyed this book. Again, they have Olive, who is the main character here, who is Mexican American, and then they have Ethan, and Olive and Ethan are pretty good characters. I really did like them. So we have Olive, who is a twin. She has a sister named Amy who just got married, and Olive is known as the unlucky twin, whereas Amy always gets the best things out of life. And in the beginning, it was kind of hard for me to like Olive because I just felt like she was really negative, and she was just kind of like, oh, well, Amy gets all the good things and I don't get the good things, so whatever. Like, she was just kind of okay with the fact that she was the unlucky twin, and I didn't really like that about her. But throughout the book, I really did she started to grow on me pretty much. Amy and Olive are twins. Olive is the unlucky twin, and then Amy married Ethan's brother, and everybody ends up getting sick at the wedding except Ethan and Olive because they didn't eat the food. Then they have to go take Amy's honeymoon because somebody's got to go. They've already paid for it, all expenses paid, in Hawaii. And Olive and Ethan do not like each other. They hate each other. So it's just a hate to love story, and it's really fun. We get to see these characters kind of have to pretend that they're married, and yeah, I really like this one. I felt like this one was, the characters are probably what made it for me, because I really did like Olive in the end, and I really liked Ethan throughout the story. I thought he was really funny. But yeah, I really like this one. Then we have another book here, and I just noticed that I have a lot of Latin inclusion in this video, but we have The Proposal by Jasmine Galori, and in this one we have Nicole, who is a journalist who's dating this jock guy. They've only been together for a couple of months. They're not really that serious, or at least Nicole thinks they're not that serious. So then when Nicole and her boyfriend go to a Dodgers game, her boyfriend ends up proposing to her in front of the whole Dodgers stadium. Nicole is completely taken by surprise. She's like, wait, what the hell? We haven't even been dating. We're not even that serious. Why are you proposing to me? And she pretty much turns down his proposal, and after this he leaves her there all alone, and the cameras start to follow her. So then here comes Carlos, the Mexican American doctor, and his sister, and they come in to rescue Nicole. And it's really funny because they spend the rest of their day together, all three of them. Then they meet up some friends, and it's just really fun to see the instant friendship that they have. And then they just kind of start to see each other a little bit more, and we get to see these two characters really kind of instantly like each other. They create this friendship, but then they're kind of like, wait, what is holding us back from taking this a step further? And that's what really makes the story interesting. But I really like these two characters. I really like Nicole. I just wish that she wasn't as negative as she is in this book, but I can also understand what caused her to become the person that she is, because we get to see and uncover a couple of her things. But I really like Carlos. I really loved his family. I felt a connection to him more because I felt like I understood the relationship he carried on with his family. But I really like this book, and it's really fun, it's really cute, and it's really entertaining. Okay, then I have two trilogies from the same author, and that's gonna be Jenny Han. The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy and To All the Boys trilogy. So let's start with this one. First of all, these book covers are so cute. I always rave about the fact that Jenny Han has really cute style. I really like how these books turned out for her, and yeah. So I'm really excited for the last one to come out. It gets me all in my feels. I love Laura Jean. I know a lot of people were like, she's too innocent. I don't care. I like that about her. I like how close she is to her family. I love the relationship she has with her dad, but let's get into it. So in To All the Boys I Loved Before, we get introduced to Laura Jean, who is kind of an outsider. She doesn't really have any good relationships. She's really shy and really secluded. Like, she doesn't really have a connection with anyone in school besides her best friend. But we find out that she really enjoys writing letters to boys that she's fell in love with. So she has, I believe, 5 letters in total, and one day they all get sent out, and all the boys receive the letters, including her next door neighbor Josh, who was dating her sister. Her sister just recently went off to college and she broke up with Josh, and Josh just found out that Laura Jean used to love him. So when all the letters get sent out, Peter Kavinsky gets one of them, and that used to be Laura Jean's like first crush. Was he her first crush? I don't know, but she really liked him. He also dated Laura Jean's ex-best friend named Jen, and they recently broke up too. So Peter gets this letter and he confronts Laura Jean, asking her, what is this about? Why'd you write me this letter? And she kind of explains things to him a little bit, and then they end up creating a contract where they're gonna fake date to get Jen jealous. And that's kind of how it becomes into 3 stories. And in this one, we have the beginning of Peter and Laura Jean. Then we have P.S. I Still Love You, where we get introduced into another of the characters, John Ambrose, and he's also one of Laura Jean's ex-loves or ex-crushes. He gets into this, he becomes part of the story here, and it's pretty important. I really did like the book over the movie in this one. I just felt like the book had way more, like, we got to really know John Ambrose and how, like, I don't know, I kind of, when he got introduced in this one, in this book, I kind of started to lean towards John Ambrose, but then in the movie I didn't feel persuaded in it. And then we have Always and Forever Laura Jean, which is the ending of her high school journey, and this one's really nice. It's beautiful, but it just makes me sad because it is the ending of everything, like of the story of Laura Jean. So again, these are so adorable. I love them. And yeah, so let's talk about the summer series. This is all 3 in 1, you guys. Look at this. This is before they had the cutest covers. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the covers. I'll put them up here. I recently bought those for my little cousin, and I'm like, these covers are so damn cute. I wish they had those when I like was looking for this one, but this is literally the only one I found. But in this one, we have a main girl named Belly. I forgot her name, but they call her Belly. And she has always had a really good friendship with the Fisher boys. It's 3 boys in total. And she's always had a crush on, I believe it's the oldest one. I don't remember his name because it's been years since I read this one. But she's had a crush on one of them, and he kind of never really paid attention to her until one year he finally does. However, she also finds out that one of the other brothers really likes her, and he's liked her for some time too. So they've always spent summers together, but this summer she kind of has to figure out what she really wants, if she likes one over the other, or if she just doesn't want to get in between them at all. It's not my favorite. I definitely do not like it over To All the Boys. And oh my god, and recently I saw that Jenny Han is making this into a TV series, and I believe it's going to be through Amazon. It's cute. It really does get you in the summer mood, and I don't really know what else to say other than there are certain things like Belly. I just felt like some of the choices she made throughout the story, I'm like, it didn't have to go that far. Like, you could have made better decisions, but it's still a good book. It's still really fun, and it's cute. Then we have The Hating Game. This is a really, really fun and really good hate to love story. I thought it was done beautifully. I love both of the characters. So in this one we have Lucy, who is a quirky and really bright character, and she is an assistant, and so is Josh, who's going to be our other main character. He's kind of like this uptight, really serious about his job type of guy, and they are put to compete for the same position pretty much. They're going against each other, and it's really fun to see them interact. They're both pretty witty, and instantly you know they have chemistry, but they hate each other in the beginning, and it's really funny to see them interact and kind of compete with each other. But yeah, it's a really good book. There's not much I can say other than that it's a hate to love story. It's beautifully done, and it's really funny and quirky. So if you guys are into those, I love hate to love stories if they're done right. There are sometimes where I'm like, no, didn't work for me, but this one, it's good. So I don't know how I literally was walking through Barnes & Noble, and I randomly was placed in front of the romance bookshelf, and I found this author. named Tessa Dare, and I googled her because she had a couple of books there, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, what book should I read? And so I was looking through Goodreads, and some of the books that have the best reviews were her Girl Meets Duke series, and I was like, why not? You guys, I fell in love. Literally, I bought them a couple like last week. Oh my god, these are so, I'm so sorry because look at this. I was reading this first one, the Duchess deal. He ordered Wingstop and I was like, no, I can't put it down. So I was trying to eat and read at the same time, and then this happened. And then last night I was taking a bath and I really wanted to read this one. I'm in the middle, so I'm not done with this one. And literally got it wet. Like, yeah, look at this. It's so bad. And then I haven't read this one, but we have jackpot here. This is better for 18 and over. You're younger than 18. I don't know if I want your parents screaming at me if they find out that I'm the one that recommended these, but these are so good. They're so fun. Okay, this one, because obviously it's the only one I finished. It is so funny. Like, I literally could not get over how funny this one is. Both of the characters were so funny. So let's talk a little bit about this one. So Emma is the main character in this story. She is a seamstress. She came from a really good family, but something happened in her life before where she had to leave her family behind, her dad behind. And she ended up becoming a seamstress, and you know, she's barely making it. They don't make a lot of money, and she ends up running into the Duke of Ashbury, or Ashbury, I don't know how you pronounce that, but Duke of Ash. And he is like supposed to be this really handsome duke. Everybody loves him. However, he was in the army or in the military and ended up going to war and got a really, really bad injury. He got burnt all through, I don't remember if it was his right or left side, but he got burnt all through one side, like his face, his arm. Like, they talk about the fact that he had dents. Yeah, like it was rough. And ever since then, his fiance, who he was engaged with, left him behind. She don't want to be with him anymore. People, his friends, they left him. Like, nobody wanted to be around him, and the people that stood by him, he pretty much chased away because he was obviously upset. And I mean, your fiance doesn't want to be with you tomorrow. Hello, that's hurtful. So he proposes to Emma because he needs a bride. He proposes to her that he would marry her, and once she gives him a kid, he would pretty much give her a house in the countryside and she can go live there in peace, because again, she's barely making it now that she's a seamstress. I really loved Emma, and I really loved the Duke of Ash. It got me like the whole Bridgerton feeling, but super funnier. And I don't know, I really like this one. And I'm currently reading The Governess Game, and the main character in this one is Alex, and she also comes out in Emma's story because Alex is Emma's friend, so they kind of continue on. And in this one, Alex becomes a governess for, I think he's a Duke Chase, I believe. And he had become a guardian for two little girls who were kind of just passed around, and they're kind of rebelling. None of the governess stick around. And Alex is actually not a governess by nature. She used to be, like help people fix their clocks and stuff like that. But he proposed to her like a whole bunch of money that could help her, so she took it. And yeah, this is really fun too. I really did like this one way more when it came to the beginning. Like, I felt like this one, from the moment it started, I was like really intrigued by it. Whereas this one, there's some things that I'm like, you know, I don't care for as much, but I still really like these characters. And the little girls are really funny. I really like them too. And yeah, I can't wait to finish this one. I'm telling you guys, these are really good. I'm so sad that I didn't read these sooner. And Tessa Dare has a lot of other books, so I'm really excited. And this one, again, I have not read it, but this one has to do with the other friend from these two stories named Penelope. And from the other two stories, I do know that Penelope takes in hella animals. Like, she has a two-legged dog, she has cats, she has a whole bunch of animals. And in this one, we get introduced into a character named Luke, who ends up moving in next to Penny, because her name's Penelope, but he ends up moving next to Penny, and he tells her that she needs to get rid of all the animals she has, and she tells him that she will, but that he has to help her. And we already know where this is heading, you guys. Penny's really funny. I really liked her in the other two books. But you guys, I love these. I'm telling you guys, well, I love this one and I'm really enjoying this one. I feel like the author did an amazing job at giving us likable characters, all of them, like even the guys, because the guys are like the toxic ones. They're the ones who don't want to settle down, but yet they're really funny and fun, and they really treat the girls good. Yeah, so guys, that's it for today. I really hope that you guys liked this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below letting me know if you guys read any of these. Like, let me know if you guys like them, or if you guys have read them, let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope that you guys have a good Valentine's Day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.